Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a really sweet and unusual Victorian gardening book, which I think would merit reprinting. I'm sure it's out of copyright. It's called A Year in a Lancashire Garden, unusually, 1891. A Year in a Lancashire Garden by Henry A. Bright, Macmillan and Company, London, 1891. And it's got a nice cover, rather aesthetic movement, Art Nouveau cover, which is in decent condition. And it's just a charming series of observations about what's growing in his garden during the seasons. What have we got here? He says in his book, I'm not a gardening expert. I just love my garden. I want to write about it. And here's what I've seen and what I do. Now, if I can open this page, it's always difficult with these trim pages. Well, he will give you some idea. The summer garden, the fruit crop, oboe, strawberries, lilium auratum, weeds, tomatoes, St. Luke's summer, the orchard, the house, latest flowers, gardening blunders, the rookery daffodils, ants and aphids, fruit trees, the grass walk. He basically describes his garden. I can virtually guess where it is. I come from Lancashire, and he describes being outside a city 5 miles near the sea, with a church 3 miles distant on the horizon. I think it's probably what is now virtually Bootle or Seaforth in Liverpool, but which in those days was countryside on the outside of Liverpool. And as it says here, Lancashire is not the best possible place for a garden. And he describes the situation. And then it's just charming thoughts, little quotations from poetry, things he's been reading, crocuses mentioned in literature, crocuses in his garden, orangeries and how to run them, and so on. And I think at the back there's a little sort of set of notes on various literary references. It's just a man pottering around his garden, enjoying the plants, telling us what he's planted in a sort of diary form. It goes through the months of what he's planted, how he enjoys it, and there we are, April the 4th. Is any moment of the year more delightful than the present? What there is wanting in glow of colour is more than made up for in fullness of interest. And he describes how interesting his garden is at the start of spring. And so it goes on. It's a delightful book. Copies I've found are £30, £40 in the antiquarian book trade. It's not a common book. And it's charming. A Year in a Lancashire Garden, Henry Bright, 1891. Thanks. Bye.